obviously, that is a fun one to consider. Bart, before I come to you and your shaking hand, let me try and sell this a little bit more. Jeremy Fowler, the conversation really began with Chris Godwin being a free agent and being someone who is going to be heavily sought after. He's a guy who someone might throw $20 million a year at him. If they do, the Buccaneers probably can't afford to bring him back. That was where this conversation began, that if they lose Godwin, the long-standing relationship between Brady and OBJ comes into play. What do you think of it, Jeremy Fowler?
Well, from what I've heard, Chris Godwin is anticipating getting the franchise tag. That's a real possibility. So that would be 1 year, around $15.5 million. And that would probably take Odell Beckham off the table because they already have Mike Evans. They got to pay a bunch of defensive guys. But if they figure they can't make the money work for all their free agents and then they eventually have to let Godwin go, that's when Beckham would make a ton of sense. And it has shown that what Tom Brady wants, Tom Brady gets. He stumped for Antonio Brown. He got him. Some other options in the fold, Gronk, everybody else. Getting the whole band back together, Brady has gotten what he needed to succeed in Tampa. So if he wants Beckham, that's something they would take a very hard look at.
Now, why, Bart Scott, did you look skeptical when we brought this up?
Because, I mean, we all talk about how great, and we know how great his talent is, but he's always been a guy that kind of messes up the chemistry. We saw that the Cleveland offense moved a lot smoother when he was taken off the field or when he got injured. Coming off of an injury, I don't know if I'm going to sign him. He's going to want a commitment because he's still a relatively young guy. I think that they already have the answer if Godwin walks away. They have Antonio Brown, who knows that he doesn't have that many options. There's not too many people that's going to stand on the table for him at his advanced age that's going to pay him that type of money. And I think they already have a natural replacement in Tyler Johnson. You would let Scotty Miller become a lot bigger because I think the reason that they were successful and the reason that they won that Super Bowl is because of the defense. So they're going to have to pay a guy like Levante David, who I think played a huge role and will continue to play a huge role with that organization. And I think they have to try and be able to keep Barrett. That's more important than bringing in another luxury piece.
Shaquille Barrett, pass rusher, obviously, and Levante David, superstar linebacker. Let me ask another linebacker here. Ninko, what do you think?
Yeah, look, I agree with Bart. Why not? And after they won the Super Bowl, all they talked about was, let's keep the band together. We're keeping the band together. So if you look at the OBJ contract, his base salary of what, $14.5 million moving forward in 21. That's a lot of money to spend on a guy who, after signing the $90 million contract, hasn't really been what he was before he signed that big deal. And coming off an ACL injury, you're not even guaranteed to get back to where you were previous to your ACL injury. I know I've torn my ACL. It takes about 2 full seasons to feel like you're back 100%. So you look at the roster right now, and if they franchise Godwin, they keep him there. They didn't even have an offseason. So imagine that team with an offseason and the chemistry that they've built, and they're going to continue to build. I would keep them together as much as they can and spend the money on the defense.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.